I'll move on now to our next speaker, Alex DePase, founder and CEO of Global Franchise Exchange and World Properties International Franchise. He's now joining us from the United States. Alex, can you hear us?
Hey, how are you? How's everything going? All right. Yeah, I think it's been 8 months now since I've been on, maybe 6 months, I'm not sure, but a lot has changed, that's for sure, throughout the world, in every part of the world. And I've been doing this 25, 30 years now, almost 30 years, and seen a lot of ups and downs and all sorts of different markets and recessions and almost close to, global bankruptcy, well, with 2007, 2008, with what happened there. There's a lot of variables that are playing in, and these next 2 years are going to be critical. Stuff that's going on in Europe, the States, throughout the world. It's a very interesting time. But with that said, it's the track record and the history always is when economic times hit, and it's a little bit harder, at least in America now. We're talking about expansion in America and franchising in America, a little bit, a very mature market. Times are, franchise sales and development is extremely strong. And that's, for variable reasons, a couple of different reasons. One, as unemployment rate increases, people lose jobs, they get disenchanted with the market, the job market, and they look for other options as far as going into business for themselves. And here in America, you can basically, any type of interest that you're interested in, whether it's a, plumbing business, a cookie business, a Chinese takeout business, food and beverage, whatever that may be, there is an opportunity here because it's a very developed, franchise market, and Americans have accepted franchising, and it's definitely the success of franchising here in America is a lot higher than if you were to go on your own. So a lot of advantages. And, some of the things that I know there's an international market here. Some of the things that you should really be thinking about and looking at is, from a strategic standpoint, diversification, right? I mean, this is where top franchise, Vassal and Victor do an amazing job, of having partners throughout the world. And, if you're prepared for these times and you're diversified in these times, right, you're able to sustain business. I see too many companies, throughout my 30 years that have just don't prepare. They're just so myopic in their view. They look at just one little single market and they're not looking at the whole globe, and they're not anticipating downturns or, the diversification is the key. Global diversification is so simple these days. Think about if you've got, for those businesses that thought ahead and planned ahead and strategized ahead to diversify into the United States. And they've got, and they did this 3, 4, 5 years ago when the business was strong in their home countries. And now they're set up in this country. And think about the revenue that they're generating in each one of their locations. It's in the US dollar. I mean, if you don't see the strength of the US dollar right now and the conversion in any country, it's outrageous. So some of these countries are making twice the amount of money because of the conversion. That's, because planning and diversification. So these times tell you anything. It's all about, how do I diversify? How do I expand globally? How do I, prepare, for the next thing? And the US is a tremendous market. Yeah, we have a downturn. There's, and we have a serious interest rate problem here. Quantitative easing is happening, is tightening up. There's no more of that. The real estate market, I know last presenter, Realty Plus, is pretty much shot, for the next couple of years. We'll see what happens with the REO market, but there's always pockets of opportunities in America. And as unemployment starts to creep up and people lose jobs, there's a bigger pool of buyers that are going to be looking to purchase franchising. So, let's talk a little bit what we do. My name is Alex DePase. Like I said, I've been in this 30 years. Global Franchise Exchange, we are an international platform that helps companies expand into America and throughout the world. I was a franchisor, built my company to about 185 locations, ended up selling that company, worked for two large companies, one being Remax, top 5 publicly traded franchisor, one of the largest, the greatest franchises in the world. So I've got that corporate experience on the corporate side, and then also just helping numerous amounts of international companies from Asia, from Middle East, from Europe, expanding into the United States. We've got a complete team where it's turnkey, and you can basically be up and running within 6 months. Now, we're also very selective with what and who we talk to. It's not for everybody. There's not, just because you want to grow and develop internationally doesn't mean you should grow. Doesn't mean you should diversify. That you shouldn't even be thinking about diversifying if you haven't excelled and that one location at home or the 2, 3 are not doing well. That diversification is a great thing, but it's for the right people. So we meet with people at no charge, free consult. I always love talking to people around the world. Love for anybody on this call to reach out to me and have a conversation and about the U.S. market or about any other market. I mean, I've got 30 international partners throughout the world. Obviously, I'm aligned with Vasil and Victor, or talk to them who are incredible. So Global Franchise Exchange, what we have a team obviously in the US, China, Saudi Arabia. Here's just a few select of our brands. I'm going to go a little bit quicker because I don't know what I have for time wise. Why expand into the USA? Well, right now is a perfect time, especially if you're in a country, if you're ready, and if you're in a country that maybe is facing over the next 2 to 3 years a slowdown. I can tell you that historically, over the past 30 years, any recession, any difficult times that we have encountered from an economy in America, franchising has gone up and has flourished. So it is an ideal time as we prepare, because who knows how long this downturn globally is going to last. Some people say, quick 2 years, 3 years, some are talking 5, 7, 10 years. We just don't know. But everything in America, not everything, but Americans are very used to franchises. We want to get a sandwich, it's a franchise shop we're going to go to. Sports teams, it's a franchise. Anything and everything, any type of business sector. Like I said, we have a franchise for, and that's another thing to be looking at too. Is if you have capital, let's say you just don't have a brand, you have capital and you want to invest into the US market and maybe do from a master development or an area development or a single unit. We also work with investors, foreign investors that invest capital into the United States, into different sectors where we help them from start to finish, help find, run, operate, and then eventually sell. So that's something I just want to bring up as well. You may not particularly be ready for the brand to expand, but you have capital that you want to diversify and utilize in the country on a franchise. It's something I would love to discuss as well. But it's a very regulated market. It's governed by the FTC, then each one of the Department of Bankings in each state. There's about 14 registered states that you have to go through a process, but you are very protected. The franchise disclosure document here in this country allows protection of pretty much the brand. So, you've got the USPTO trademark protection, mark and IP protection. You've got the franchise disclosure document. You've got the banking system here that's backed by the FTC, so your money is insured. So we take people through every aligning, setting up LLCs in Delaware or Vegas or whatever state that may be, setting up the bank accounts. I mean, there's a whole step by step process, system, blueprint that we follow and take the brands through, and have been doing for 25 plus years here in the States, and more than willing to, talk with you or get on a call with Vasil and Victor and go through this whole process. But the opportunity in America is tremendous. I don't have to hit that home anymore. Our process, pretty much like I was talking, initial process, business planning, pre-market strategy, no cost. You want to talk to somebody and you want to just pick my brain and talk to, whether it's marketing. I've got an MBA from the University of Connecticut, top 50 business school here in marketing. So that's sort of my niche. And as well as 30 years in franchising and sales and development, on all aspects. If you're just looking for, advice or want to pick my brain, I love talking to people. Cost you nothing. So please reach out to me, even if you don't have a brand or you're just starting out. But the initial process is that pre-market strategy. Do you have a brand that is ready to expand? And we just dissect that a little bit, take a look at it and say, okay, here's the pros, here's the cons. Sometimes it makes sense. You may just have an idea or one location in the country, and it makes sense because you have to grow quickly, and franchising allows you to grow quickly. Speed to market is key, right? So that you can develop first to market, brand awareness, brand expansion into the market. And that's what franchising, is great. That's why it's so amazing, right? Think about being able to get a partner, a master franchise partner that would take your brand in the country, take that, establish everything here, in the country, and expand it, rapidly. Not only do they pay the master franchise fee upfront to you as the brand owner, but every single unit that they sell and franchise that they develop and grow, you make a percentage of that and the royalties, and you have an in-country partner. There's other ways that you can go to. Some, like to establish and prove concept first in the country. If you've got the capital, that works. But I've also seen that slow down the process. And by the time that you're ready to go I've got one client that's Japanese pancakes that is opened up in Soho. Has been there for 3 years, doing 1.6 million, in top line revenue. Amazing, amazing product, amazing business, but we've waited too long. There's still an opportunity, but there's other market competitors that have penetrated the market. So these are things you have to balance, like the speed into the market. Are you ready? Is the speed into market? All things that I discuss and educate you on, and we go through. I'm the head, but I have operations, sales team, development team, lawyers, all part of the team that helps with the entire process. But the initial call is with me, just because I just love meeting people, and Vasil and Victor are good friends of mine for a while now that we met in South Korea. So anything for these guys. Again, phase one, typically 3 to 7 months process, working directly with our legal team and going over and reviewing the FDD, filing trademarks. Phase two, we're promoting, marketing, taking the leads through the sales process. So I think these are just all our partners and everything like that, our in-country business partners. I would say at this point in time, we've, one of our success stories, I would say, is RoboThink. Within the last 3 to 4 years, took them from initial concept idea, franchised their concept, and right now we're in about 24 countries in 130 locations that we've got a complete back-end platform that allows interaction amongst franchisors, especially when you're coming into America, and education piece and access to all of the partners as well. But like I said, we pretty much cover all that, aligned with Vasil and Victor and Top Franchise, together.